Hey everyone, rocking and rolling and ready to go for the next episode of Chat E. Super excited. This night is going to be full of creativity, exciting news, and a really cool business owner. So, very excited for all of you to be a part of this. Hi Carlos. Hi Billy. Hi everyone. Hope all is well in the world. Hi Nat. My guest will be popping on any second, and then we will be able to get started. So thrilled to do this. Here we go. Hello, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Perfect. All right. Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
So good. Thank you.
Of course. This is truly such an honor, and I'm so
Yeah.
excited to learn more about you and give you this opportunity to share about everything that you're up to and doing.
Sure. Yeah. So is this kind of like, is it what you do? You reach out to creators and you kind of just talk to them pretty much?
Well, I actually am in the midst of like creating certain businesses of myself, of my own. I'm a teacher, so right now I have
Cool.
my own business because kids in Maryland are all learning online. So I'm working with kids in person and working for myself. But over quarantine, I'm a huge people person and didn't have the opportunity to be meeting as many people. And while I'm building myself up and expanding my small business, I was like, okay, well, it'd be super cool for me to connect with other people that are doing the same, learn about what they're doing, and build community.
Totally love it.
So,
yeah. So do you
let me
want to
drop
kind
a
of
little intro for you for everyone so they know who you are.
Yeah.
And then it's all you. And then I have a bunch of questions set up. We'll chat interview style, but also just like connecting and getting to know each other too.
Love it. Let's do it.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Chat E. My name is Ellie for anyone that's new, and I'm so pumped and excited for tonight's guest. He is super talented and super creative. This is Johnny Q, and he is a media producer, entrepreneur, and artist. I actually came across Johnny on TikTok months ago, doing art, painting, all of these crazy things that he's going to be sharing with you about tonight. And I was like, all right, this dude is so cool. I want some of his art in my bedroom, which will be hanging up soon. And wanted to hear more about your story, how you got started, and what you're up to. So I'm super glad to have you and for you to share.
Sweet. Love it. Are you screen recording this too or no?
It'll all be saved and I'll have it when we're done.
Oh, that's right. That's just going to be saved. Duh.
Yeah,
I should know this.
No, it's okay. Instagram is actually like really weird about these lives sometimes. They make it difficult to save some of them sometimes, but we'll be good to go.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, my name is Johnny Q, and I actually just started doing this 8 months ago, like the spin art, right? So I've been doing social media, producing videos, photography for a long time now. Now, actually, before this, like what I'm doing now, I actually was a marketing manager at a company. And I was there for about 2 years.
Okay.
And then before that, I was an analyst, like Google data analytics and all that stuff. I was more of like the data miner kind of guy. And so I went into marketing.
Right.
But yeah, this all started from quarantine.
As
most people are finding themselves now, And, we got sent home. They're like, yo, you guys got to get home. Don't come back to work for 2 months. And I'm like, okay, cool. Right. No worries there. And I finally was, I think 2 weeks in after we started, what was it, Tiger King, that that Netflix show, Tiger King. We finished that show, and I looked at my wife and I'm like, we cannot be watching more Netflix for the next 6 weeks.
For sure.
You can't do it. We got to find something that's going to be just entertaining for us as a family, right?
Totally.
And I've told this multiple times, but basically I went to Walmart and I got paint, I got canvases, and I was like, okay, we're going to just enjoy family time. And we just started painting. And it actually was quite nice for like a couple days. We just started, finger painting outside. It was fun. And then for some reason, I don't know why, like I wanted to see more of the paint on a canvas. Like I just wanted to see what it would do if I spun it. And at the time I wasn't thinking like, oh, let me grab my drill. I was thinking I'm just going to throw this. And I started throwing my canvases in the backyard, like just tons of them.
Sure.
My neighbors were probably thinking like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Right. What are you looking at?
You know, some of them would like land in their yards just by accident because I'd be throwing them way too hard. But I wanted to get the effect of the spin on the paint.
Okay.
And it was, I think, after like a week, there was a snowstorm, and it was just snowing really, really hard.
Right.
And I thought to myself, while we were watching Netflix, okay, what if I spin it on a drill? Can I quickly make a rig, put it on a drill, put paint on the canvas? Would that work? And so, like, I did this in a couple minutes. I went outside while it was a snowstorm. That was really my first video of spin art.
Right.
And that first video went like super viral for me. I think it got like 2 million views or something like that in the first first day. Right. And I was That's like, crazy. Whoa, this is crazy. Not thinking that I was going to turn it into a business, not thinking I was going to sell these pieces, because I just thought, okay, I did it for a TikTok video. It's cool. Okay, I'm going to go back to watching Netflix. And it was that morning after someone reached out and said, yo, I love that piece. Can I buy it from you? Because I also posted that video on my on Instagram stories. Mm-hmm. At the time it was stories, not reels, yeah. And I was like, I guess you could buy it. Like, why would you want to buy it? Like, I'm not I'm not trying to sell these. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I want to buy it, so I'll give you this amount. And I thought, okay, cool, let's do it. And so I sold that one within a day. And I thought, okay, well, what if I could do this on a massive scale? Could that work? Do people want artwork made by Johnny Q during quarantine? And I thought, yeah, I think I'm going to try to make that a thing for people. Totally. And so the second one I made, it was just, again, for fun. Didn't really put a lot of effort into it. And I was like, we'll see what happens. In the first hour, someone reached out again via Instagram and thought, or they were like, hey, I want to buy that piece.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this is the second time it's happened super quickly. What if I just quickly made a website, made it look official,
sure,
and just made it something like an e-commerce thing? And so within a couple hours, I had a full running website, and I was like, okay, yeah, sounds good. Here's a link to the payment. Mm-hmm. So they went to my website, which was really dinky. It was pretty much just a one-pager, just checking out and then, buying the piece. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how it all started. And I thought, okay, that was 2 pieces. Can I keep doing this? And how long and how often can I do it?
Right, definitely.
And when we got back to work, I mean, I think I was making like 50 to 60 pieces per week, which isn't a lot, because nowadays I'm doing like 100 to 150 a week.
That's incredible.
And I just thought, okay, this is kind of crazy. People actually want Johnny Q art in their homes, and they're willing to pay for it. And so we got back to work. I went from 9 to 5, and then from 5:01 p.m. to midnight, I was like, all right, I'm working on all things Johnny Q art. And at the time, I was trying to build up my YouTube channel and my Instagram following, and just making myself a little bit more like of a social media,
like official and like
like more of official. Yeah, exactly. Totally. What's up, Josh? But yeah, that's kind of how it started, and it kind of just blew up from there over the summer, and now I'm here. So I was able to quit my full-time job, and now I'm here doing it. Okay,
well, this is like leading in so many questions altogether, but oh my gosh, so I didn't realize this was a new thing for you. I have been following you on TikTok for quite some time, but I didn't realize this was a quarantine thing. So it just shows that when you put in effort and time into something that you're passionate about, like the things that can come of it. So congratulations, good for you. Your artwork is incredible.
Yeah.
And that's so exciting. And that's insane that you've already been able to quit your job. I feel like so many people that I've talked to on Chat E have said the same thing. They've started their businesses over quarantine. So, so many people have been focusing on the negative things that have happened with us being stuck and like people getting sick. But at the same time, there's so many good things that can come out of us having more time and being home. So you are a prime example of that. So seriously, congrats. So cool.
Totally. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I think, there's a lot of bad things that happen during, pandemic, quarantine, whatever. Yeah. But I have a lot of thoughts on that. But it goes to show that if you don't take action on what you want to do, like I had a job. It was stable. I could just chill for the next 2 months and done nothing. Yeah. But at the time, I was already wanting to move away from the 9 to 5 and become a full-time Johnny Q, whatever that means, right? Yep. And so I wasn't like planning on this to be my full-time thing. It was more of I'm going to pursue this kind of like, I have this feeling that people might want to buy this, or that people want to buy into the Johnny Q brand. Sure. And so I just kept on doing that, you know, in the summer and in the fall. And then I was like, hey, this actually kind of works out. And we moved because my wife wanted to be closer to her family, so we moved states. And
so where are you living now?
Missouri.
Okay.
Yep. So it kind of worked out.
Very cool. No, and it's like insane. You found a way to make it sustainable. You have a whole brand of your own, and it's only going to continue to grow from here.
Totally, yeah.
So you said with your media production and everything, you were making videos and taking pictures and all of that kind of stuff. Are you still doing any of that, or kind of have moved some of that knowledge and all those skills into your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I was going to balance that when I moved here, and I have this other business called Q Creative. It's, you know, video production for businesses around the area. I still, you know, I manage accounts every now and then, but Johnny Q Art has kind of just taken off, and so I've been able to do that full time, and I kind of put Q Creative on the back burner. But now I guess my, you know, all that experience, yet that actually translates to my my YouTube videos, my pictures, and all of that stuff. And so I think what really separates, I guess, Johnny Q from a lot of other people is really just the work ethic. I guess, like, I'm okay doing so much work, and I have getting 0 views. Like, that was my life for years. Like, if you go back to like my very first YouTube videos, I was using my iPhone and getting maybe 50 views a month. And I did that for, I think, a couple hundred videos. And it was up until I hit 10,000 followers where my videos just started popping off on YouTube. And it's more of a, if you want to get there, it's going to be a long road. And people say it's going to be a long road. It is going to be a long road, but you kind of have to just tell yourself that you have to really work for it. You know, no one's going to knock on your door and be like, hey, here you go. Here's everything you want on a silver platter kind of thing. And so I think that consistency people have seen, because I've always been posting, hey, I just put up a new YouTube video. Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and getting very minimal views, but that's fine. I think that's kind of where, you know, it starts with everyone. So,
no,
Josh,
absolutely.
Sorry, there's some people in here I know. Johnny Q is now a lifestyle, the Q style. Josh, that's awesome.
No, it's awesome. I'm also taking note. If I'm looking down at any point, I'm just taking notes to ask you more questions. But if anyone asks any questions, then I'm taking note of them so we can talk about them later on. Or if they're prominent for the time being, then I'll ask them too.
Totally, yeah.
So your push is insane. And like you said, that consistency is key. And I think for so many people starting something new, when they're working so hard at something and then people aren't seeing it, or there's no views on it, that's the hardest part, and why so many people give up.
Yeah, totally. I totally agreed. I mean, I stopped. So like I wanted every detail. Like I was shooting slow-mo B-roll, shooting drone footage. Like I wanted to be a cool YouTube channel experience. But I kind of just, after I realized nobody cares, like truly, no one cares about anything. They just want to be entertained. And as soon as I realized nobody cares about Johnny Q content, not in a bad way, but I just thought, okay, I have to make them care. Right? So I kind of just stopped caring about being really precise and really professional and having photos really well done. I was just posting stuff. And I just, you know, I'm going to shoot my arrow at all these different targets. Whatever sticks, you know, as far as content goes. But yeah, I think people give up really, really soon because they expect, because at the time I was making YouTube videos and I was watching, you know, Casey Neistat. I was watching David Dobrik. I was watching Peter McKinnon, like these guys that are established who have been doing this for a long time and are getting tons of views. And I'm comparing myself to those people in a sense. And I thought, well, I'm not there yet. Like they put in all the work before they even got there. And so it's just the same thing. It's just, that's why my whole mantra for the last 2 years has been that hashtag keep on creating. Because if it wasn't for creating different things, shooting my, you know, arrow at different targets, I wouldn't be here. I'd still be at a 9-to-5, thinking of what I could do and polishing everything that I have. So it's, I think people get turned off by that idea of, oh, I'm going to work for how long but get 0 views and 0 success. I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Especially now where you can go on Amazon and buy something, you know, 1 or 2 days to your house.
Sometimes they come in the same day.
Yeah, and it doesn't work like that. Now there's some people on social media that just pop off like overnight success.
Totally.
that can happen. But usually it's you put in the work for a couple years and then maybe start seeing return.
Yep. And for a lot of people, especially like you're saying, Amazon, you can get something that day in a day or two. But some people, it does take a couple years. And we can't compare ourselves because I feel like that's where we get the most discouraged. So
Totally.
So when you initially started this, was your expectation at all for you to explode and do the things that you're doing now? Did you have any thought that you would be able to transition this quickly in the 8 months of quarantine that you've been able to do this?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's hard to say. Like, yes, it is, because everything that I was already doing, I was like, it's gonna happen at some point.
Sure.
Like, I know it's gonna happen. It's just something's gonna click with the algorithm, with the audience. It's just gonna go off. When I was doing spin art, I was getting tons of views, lots of emails, and I thought, man, people want to be entertained, but people want something of value.
Right.
You know, something to remember, especially now during quarantine. And at first, I was doing a lot of pieces for people who passed away. Like, you know, let's say, you know, your mom passed away of something, and I would do a piece for them. It was kind of more of a memorial piece.
Sure.
And so I think people caught on to that, and people wanted that, you know, that UVP, that unique value proposition that sets you apart from different people. Like, that was what John and Q was creating. And so, to be honest, I thought, yes, this is going to pop off at some point, just because I was getting the views and getting that excitement from the audience. And never has that happened on like my channels.
Right.
And that's when I thought, okay, I have something here that can be scalable and people want to see more of. Yeah,
I think so cool. So cool. Do you have any background at all in art or anything that has to do with painting?
Yeah, this is funny. So everybody, I mean, as you can assume, people are like, this isn't art. Bro, what you do isn't art. You're not an artist. I'm like, okay, I understand, right? And we can go into that a little bit later. But as I think I was in middle school, I won 2 art competitions. And I got some of my drawings in the newspaper via Quick Trip. Like, it was actually super funny. But I was able to do that. I was an artist. You know, I used to draw a bunch of, like, I collected comic books, and I would draw all the characters from the comic books. I don't have those here. I have them at my old house, which I should probably get and make a TikTok video. Right. But yeah, and not a lot of people knew that I liked the art, you know, area. Like, I took my now wife to an art museum in Minneapolis, like, for our first date. And like, I truly do love art in a sense, like, especially that kind of art. So I guess, yes, I have some experience in that.
That's so cool. Well, you have so many fans. People, I'm just going to read some of these comments below. Can you see them all? Last time my guest was unable to read them all. Keep on creating. I knew Q would be successful after the first conversation with him. Huge drive, passion, complete laser focus. I love it. These kind of things, though, are so huge. Be yourself. Someone asked again, what year did you start? So you shared that you just started 8 months ago. So just want to make sure we don't miss anything. And you got to work for what you love. And it's proven that you're continuing to do that. And I feel like I said before, kind of connecting so many different things that you love into something super successful.
Totally, yeah.
So that's so cool. When I think of spin art, normally, like, I wasn't even exactly sure if it was called like spin art, spin paint. Like, I was like, what exactly is it? So I think of that little thing you buy as a child that, like, you put the canvas and it goes in the middle, and then you put the paint on and you hit the button and it starts spinning. So before I like was on TikTok and really checking this stuff out, I didn't even realize people made things like you do.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right, yeah. Like, again, like, and I have no reservations about it. Like, I can honestly say I did not look at someone else's content and I was like, oh, I want to try that. It literally just came to me. Like, I didn't know that little spin thing as a kid was a real thing up until like months ago. Someone had DM'd me and I was like, wait, whoa, that's actually pretty awesome. What is that? And people would comment like, oh, remember when we used to do that at like festivals or the circus or whatever? I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And, you know, I know that spin art in itself, the idea and the process, has been around forever, right? So is like Dutch pours and all that stuff.
Those are cool too.
It's a different technique, but like, I've never seen anybody else do that. Like, I did my research after I did the first couple. I looked up spin art and nobody was doing what I was doing. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to put it on a drill, make it happen, and just go from there. But yeah, it's pretty funny how those things kind of come up in the midst of, you know, making this happen.
No, absolutely. Someone else just said, I started my work from watching a random video of you on YouTube.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. What are your goals for 2021? Erica Squibble is asking.
What are my goals? Let's see here. So my goal, my goal was to hit YouTube hard, and my goal was to hit 100K by April. I surpassed that in like a few days of January, and then I was like, okay,
congratulations,
thank
Johnny.
you.
Wow.
I was like, okay, maybe maybe the next one will be 500K by March or whatever it was. So I guess my goal this year is to hit YouTube hard. I want to hit 1 million subscribers by this year. And so I'm working hard. That's why I'm posting like 5 or 6 videos a day. One of those videos being a long form video. But right now I'm really winning on shorts, YouTube shorts right now on YouTube.
Very cool. That's awesome. But, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I guess another goal would be not move away from spin art, but be more of a I hate saying the word, but social media influencer, like working with different companies and brands and people to bring an experience on your screen, more so than, hey, here's a Pure Life water bottle, you should buy it. Like I don't want to do that. I want to collab with people and create like fun content.
I think that's such a good idea. And everything that you do is so abstract, it's colorful, it's bold. And I feel like with so many big companies and big businesses, you could make such a statement.
Totally, yeah.
So when people go to check you out on YouTube, what kind of things are they going to see? So are they going to be learning how to do what you do, or what kind of things will they find out about?
Yeah, so right now, so I started daily vlogging. I think I'm on day like a 100 something, but I'm posting a lot of my TikTok content on YouTube and labeling it as shorts, because as you know, YouTube Shorts is like a big thing right now.
Right.
And so when you go to, literally, it's going to be an extension of my TikTok page. You can like literally binge watch all my videos. You'll find some longer form videos. Those are the vlogs that kind of kick in. And I have some, before this I was doing family vlogs, and before that I was doing a lot of tech review, like camera work, audio work, editing work on how to create vlogs and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Very cool. So there's all kinds of stuff. You guys will learn about Johnny, about his art, about all the things that he's doing, and all the great things that are to come in the future. So you said a little bit, is it called Dutch pouring, you said?
Yeah, Dutch pouring.
There's other different kinds of painting and things that you could be doing. Have you dabbled at all with other types of paint, or have you focused mainly on the spin art for now?
Right. So as far as the Dutch pour, I started doing that in the summertime. Pretty much put a bunch of paint in a cup, and you pour it on the canvas, right? And you kind of just wiggle it around, see what happens. And that's been around for the longest time. But
cool.
It is very cool. It is hard to nail down. Like my first, I think 5 were like pretty terrible. I'm like, okay, I have to try this again. And so for me personally, I don't think I'm going to get into that as much.
Right.
It's only if I have like free time or if I want to do something different. Right now I'm working on something that I can't really talk about or else someone will steal it. But I haven't seen it on TikTok. And it has to do with paint. You have not seen it on TikTok? They have not seen it.
Cool.
Yes, and so I'm pretty pumped about it. Hopefully I can roll it out really soon, but it's really cool how it kind of all comes together. So for now, I'll be just sticking with spin art for sure.
I think that's a good idea, and especially because you've gotten so good at it. I saw that you recently did the biggest canvas thus far. You spun the largest canvas that you've ever spun. I don't remember the exact dimensions, but how did that go? How was that experience different than your smaller canvases that you work with?
Yeah, totally. So for the smaller canvases, I have a rig that I just kind of put on my drill, and we can go from there. But for these bigger pieces, I actually have to have a giant board on the back, bolt this bolt with nuts and some washers, put it on the drill, and it's just a lot heavier duty than my normal smaller pieces. But yeah, that was a 36 by 48. I think that's 4 feet by 3 feet, I believe. So it's really big, and it's already heavy. Once you put a bunch of paint on the canvas, it gets even heavier, so it's hard to balance it and kind of really, have it. Once it starts rotating, I realize that you can't just full throttle. You have to kind of lay back because it kind of catches up to you. Then you can keep spinning it even harder. So, yeah, actually, I'm dropping another video today at 9 p.m. It's premiering right now on my YouTube channel, and it's part 2. So I did I did the blue one. Now I'm doing more of a red piece now.
Very cool. Of the same size you said?
Same size. Yep.
Super cool. It ended up very sick. It like the colors, all of it was awesome. I was like, it looks like it could like hold you back because it's so heavy.
Right. Oh yes, it's actually super heavy and actually really hard to maneuver, but I'm glad that we could pull it off.
Yeah, no, it looked really cool. The outcome was really terrific.
Cool.
A question that's been asked a lot, you kind of just explained it, but maybe just a little more, is the attachment of the drill to the canvas. Because I think it seems like a lot of these people are eager to learn about what you're doing and give it a try or just see how you're doing it. But how does that work? So when you explained it earlier, just to make sure I can recap and understand too, did you watch videos to learn how to do that, or you kind of just clicked and figured out how you thought you could make that work?
Right. Yeah. So I kind of just did it myself. So I have an attachment.
Very innovative.
Yeah, exactly. And so after I started doing it, other people started catching on, and they did it themselves a different way. And so if you YouTube spin art paint attachment or something, it'll come up how they do it. I mean, I literally give everything away but that piece, like just because it's the Johnny Q spinner. But for the bigger pieces, though, I do have that board. I have 2 screws on the end, and then I have that giant bolt in the middle, just because it's a giant piece and super heavy. So, but definitely, it's definitely on YouTube. People all over are doing it, which is awesome. So.
Yeah, I really admire the fact that a couple times you've kind of been like, hey, I'm going to give you as much as I can, but some of these things are kind of my things. Because, you know, so many people can be talented at similar things, but this is your brand, this is your thing. And I think, you know, you've come up with so many creative aspects to build yourself up and do this stuff. And of course, with all your content and everything you're doing, you're sharing with the world as much as you can. But it is also cool for you to be able to like keep certain things to yourself because it's yours.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good.
Totally. Yeah. I truly believe in like nothing nowadays. There's really no secret, you know, it's just everything's out there. Exactly. And like when it comes to spin art, it's already out there. Someone's going to be able to do it, you know, and I have no like reservation about what I do and how I do everything, but I just don't like when someone DMs me and says, hey, I love your stuff, but they give me a list of what they want. Like, can you give me this, and this? How do you ship? What are packages? What boxes do you use? What's the attachment? And I'm like,
go figure it out. You got this.
Right. And I'm thinking, dude, nobody told me how to do it.
Right.
You know, no one showed me, hey, Johnny, this is how you do it. Here's a blueprint. And so I really just want to respond sometimes like, bro, like figure it out, you know, but I don't respond. But, you know, if it's worth pursuing, it's worth like, it's worth doing it. So I always say, I'll give you everything that I have. I have no secrets. But as far as like kind of the back end business stuff, it's like okay, well, you figure that out. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's like, oh, this is super easy. Anybody can do it. Yeah, anybody could do it. I mean, people can make shoes, right? People can make jackets. People are making them. But it's just like, okay, do you have the work ethic to continue doing it for 8 months? You know, can you lower your cost on all things?
Yep.
And so that's what I've been able to do, and so far it's been awesome.
That's so that's so great. We have a hello from San Antonio. Someone said I've been wanting Carly So Cochran. I've been wanting to do a spin art painting for a long time. Go ahead, Carly. Nothing is stopping you.
Yeah.
And then there was a question about your jacket. Did you make it yourself?
Yes.
I saw your custom shoes too. The Adidas were cool.
Yeah. I mean, I just bought this from a store at the Mall of America in Minneapolis. And I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to try to just make my TikToks look cool. So I started wearing this and I got paint all over it.
No, it's super cool. The place where you do all your painting, so I know you said you were in the backyard starting with finger painting. So where are you right now? You're like studio?
Yeah, I'm in a tent pretty much. I like to call it studio because it sounds way better than a tent. But essentially, yeah, like I bought this tent on Amazon for $100. I'm in my garage.
Oh, cool,
and I just rigged it up with a bunch of canvas, right? Like painter's canvas. And that's pretty much what it is.
But I mean, that's the way you got to do it. That's super cool.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can't do it outside because it's like 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's freezing. So. So yeah, that's super cool. And I see that in all your videos, and I've always wondered, like I figured it was some form of a tent, but I was like, where is it?
Right.
Very cool. And then the paint, like maybe you'd be like, oh, that blue was from this painting and that green was from something else.
Yeah. Love it.
So Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was saying I love it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Glad. So you've really gotten the word out about yourself through your social media, but that was my question. How do you get the word out about your business? How have people learned about you and found out about you? Because you had to start somewhere, and now you're doing really well.
Yeah, like purchasing the spinner, or like me as a
you as like an artist.
Yeah. So I get that question a lot too. You know, people asking me, bro, how do I get like you? Like, I've been doing art for years, nothing sells. How can I get out there? And I mean, it's tough to answer those questions, but it, like I always say, it's you're not buying, you're buying spinner, you're buying, right, the canvas, you're buying the piece, but you're buying the Johnny Q brand. Totally. And that's, I've always wanted to be a brand, like as like forever. Just I wanted to be someone that can bring inspiration and light to someone's life. And right now in this time, I'm making it in a form of a canvas, in form of art. And so as far as getting out there, like, again, my whole mantra of keep on creating. And I have videos during quarantine. I've got multiple videos saying, I don't care if you're into baking, if you're into crocheting, if you're into raising chickens, I don't care what it is. You have to create content around what you love. If what you want to do and what you love, if you want to do that full time, you have to create content. It doesn't have to be on a video. It doesn't have to be on YouTube. You can create a podcast. You can, get on different platforms. You can write it. You can blog it. You can have someone do cartoons of it. Like, whatever it is, if you want to create it and you want to be full time and you want to do it for the rest of your life and create an income with it, you have to create content. Because how are you gonna? You want all the grand stuff, but you don't want to work for it, but you don't want to create content. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hire someone to create the content, but you don't know how to do it. And so that's what I say. Like, literally, just go do it, go create it, go find it out. And as far as like getting out there, like getting exposure, like up until this point, I haven't paid a single dime for advertising, which, I mean,
good for you,
is nuts. Like, everybody is like, you get Facebook ads all the time. Like, you need to be posting content and putting $100 behind it and advertising it. Quite literally, up until this point, I mean, I have not paid a single dime to advertise. I've literally just I posted TikToks and Instagram stuff. And even when I collab with like big creators with the blue check mark, no, I mean, that hasn't really like pushed me off. Like, they haven't really, their blue check mark hasn't done enough for me where it's like, oh, because I collabed with this person and I sent them a painting, it didn't really, that ROI wasn't there. And so, yeah. And I think this year I want to start pushing advertising for myself. But I mean, I'm kind of proud of the fact that I've spent $0 on advertising. And I've been able to literally do this full time. Yeah,
I was that's huge. That's like such a big deal because it gets so expensive. But I was reading like a review on a blogger's, like, fashion blogger and all this stuff. So, like, she's doing like a book thing, and like it's like $5 for these books, and then next time like they charge you for a course. And I was reading reviews and they were like, she's saying that you can make all this money, but then it's showing how much she spent on her ads, and it's like $4,000 just to like get the word out about, and it is such an investment. Oftentimes for many people. And you said that this is all about Johnny Q and your brand, which is amazing because people are drawn to, with your consistent content making, to your personality. Like, they're drawn to you as a person because you're talking and you're making awesome art, but you're like relatable and cool and like doing stuff that they're like, wow, like I feel like I'm comfortable to ask for something like custom, or like, can ask you a question to learn if I'm interested. And your brand is you. It's not your art like it is, but it's you as a person. And that's like a really, really big deal. So I'm not going to say congratulations again because I've said it 9 times. Word, but like, I'm trying to think of a different word, but like, way to go. That's a really, really big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I said it from the start, it comes down to, you don't have to be selling something. If you want to create something for yourself, like, it starts with that person connection, right? And I thought, how can I do that with someone on screen? The spin art's awesome, and then it's already relatable because it's cool, it's fun to watch. But I'm like, okay, if you know Johnny Q before YouTube, before spin art, like, I'm a crazy guy. Like I just do outrageous things.
Right.
And I want to move into more of that scenario for my YouTube as well. And so people don't really know that. The people who are on here, maybe a couple know, but like Johnny Q is pretty crazy. And I thought, okay, people like that relatableness with other creators. And if they can get that without being like super detailed and like shot on an awesome camera or whatever, like nobody cares. They just want that people connection. And so that's kind of how I think, you know, my UVP has been thrown in there as far as becoming a brand and becoming someone on social media that's, I guess, acceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do entirely. And I think that having a personality and like that comfort level, like we said, is something that a lot of creators and people lack. Like everyone has the intention to be great, but sometimes like when you actually talk to them in person when they're not recording, you're like, oh, that was kind of tough. Like, what do I say next? You know?
Yes.
And it's kind of, not everyone's like the same way.
Right. And it's honestly, it's not fake. Like Johnny Q on and off the screen is like quite literally the same person.
Right.
Like I've met some really big creators, again, with the blue check mark, awesome people, but off the camera, it's like, whoa, bro, you're a whole different person. And it's almost like when the camera gets on or you start recording, they're that different person. And it's like, whoa, like I don't want that for myself. Like I want to make sure that, you know, I'm still humble and I'm still respectful when I'm out meeting someone or like checking out at Burger King or something, you know? And I don't want to be that person because at any time, like quite literally, I think it was a couple weeks ago, someone came up to me at the gym and was like, "Are you Johnny Q?"
So cool.
And I was like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro, I watch your videos." And I'm like, "Dude, thank you so much. That's awesome." You know? But
that's really
like if I was kind of a D-bag in the moment, like, yo, I'm working out, like don't come in, like I don't really care for you right now, that would turn him off so bad, you know? And I don't ever want to be that person. And so yeah, I guess it kind of starts with that people connection personality.
But
Thank you,
built
Josh.
that, you've done that, and people are coming up to you at the gym. I don't know if it was Josh or someone else, but you said you have all kinds of different talents and cool things, but someone commented a little earlier that you also play the bass.
Yeah. So Josh Cho, he's a good friend of mine. He's awesome. Which, Josh, I actually was going to call you yesterday, but you're on vacation still. I'll call you. But yeah, so
Josh.
Before this, actually, Josh is a guitar player. I mean, I still am. I'm a bass player, and I produced a few albums, and I, you know, just kind of traveled all over, and I, you know, played music with a bunch of bands and artists. So that was fun. A lot of people don't know that actually. But if you go back,
just a pretty rad guy overall.
Oh man, thank you. If you go to my like YouTube old content, you'll see a bunch of like bass covers, vlogs of me going out to like, you know, different places.
Very cool.
But yeah, I used to play music full time.
That's amazing. Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Part of the fun of me doing this too is, I mean, we don't really know each other very well until right now, but you know, this is really cool for me to learn all these things about you too.
Totally, yeah.
Not Fausto said when we were talking about it earlier that spin art is not easy. I started my own stuff down here in San Antonio, all inspired in all caps by Johnny Q, and it's getting me some attention, but it is making me so happy, very therapeutic. So thank you. That's a really big deal.
Thank you. That's awesome.
And also said, I watched your stuff for over a month just for peace of mind, tried it out, and now want to see where it goes. You're inspiring people, Johnny.
That's awesome, dude. That's super cool.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So in regards to finances, you said that you didn't have to pay any money or anything for your advertising, which is huge. But when you're starting, like you already had your job and you're starting a new business, like buying the paint, the canvases, everything like that. Did you, because it can get expensive, like financially, did you set aside like a certain fund for yourself of how much you wanted to like spend and invest into this new business? Did you take, like, where did that money come from? Because I know for a lot of people when like a little nervous about starting a new business, it's like because of the money and investment, but you have to invest in yourself to be successful, period.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great question. And at first I used to talk about financials a lot because people were interested. Yeah. But I'm glad that we can talk about this. But yeah, so at first,
talk about it, or you did?
I used to, yeah, all the time. Like I just screenshots, I mean the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I was just so transparent about it.
Sure.
You know.
That's important.
But at first, yeah, I mean the first month I did it, I was like, it's not gonna last. And day after day, people were ordering. I'm like, okay, nothing's gonna happen. People were ordering, and the first month, I mean, we did 10K in the first month, right? And I thought, okay.
Are you serious?
Okay, yeah, like how is this happening? right? And so
that's amazing. Good for
on
you.
those numbers, I was like, okay, we have to put everything we have back into the business, which means getting paint, canvases,
Sure.
you know, shipping costs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was separating that from my other job because I still had a full-time job.
Right.
And so it wasn't like, okay, we're using this money to support us now. It was more like, okay, everything we make has to go back into putting into Johnny Q spin art.
Sure.
And at the time, it was pretty expensive because I was buying paint from Walmart, and it was like by the bottle. And so times that by like 2 trips a week, you know, every single week, plus I was only getting canvases at Walmart as well, which there was like 2 canvases for I think $11. Mm-hmm. And so that got pretty pricey.
Sure.
It was up until like I think the 3rd month where I was buying my supplies in bulk, you know, bringing that cost down, buying the paint in bulk, bringing that cost down, but the quality of paint was higher versus just a Walmart paint.
Right.
So, and then, you know, we tripled down on our shipping, everything. Like I wanted to make sure shipping was super, super cheap. But the quality of shipping packages was still pretty high. So, you know, then I think later on we finally got into the rhythm of, okay, we should probably buy a label maker so we can just print it off Shopify. It prints off here in real time. I can put it on the package and boom, there it is.
Yep, definitely.
You know, versus printing it out on a printer, waiting for that entire process. And so, you know, with any business, you kind of go through those growing pains.
Sure.
You're like, okay, oh, I should have done that. But there's no way of knowing how to change that specific thing before going through it.
You have to learn.
But now it's down to a science. Like it's pretty simple. Like you buy a piece, I'll make it. Like there's like maybe two. I like to say 2 to 3 week waiting period. But I like to make it super, super quick.
Sure.
You know, kind of the what's it called, the under promise, over deliver kind of thing.
You should totally always do that.
Yeah, and so I say our shipping will always be longer, but usually it's a few days if I'm not backed up. Yeah. And then, you know, I'll buy the label. We'll go from there and package it the next day, and it's out. So
it's so smart of you to do that because the mail service in general during the pandemic has been slower. You know, like I ordered package in like November and got it in January. There's certain things, but especially when you're ordering from like a small business or like, I guess not even really a small business anymore. I don't even know if you'd call it that, but booming business.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's better for sure to be like, hey, it'll arrive and give people like a longer amount of time, and then they'll be pumped when it comes sooner.
Totally. Yep.
So what kind of paint do you use?
Like so I use all acrylic.
Okay. I like acrylic.
It's all acrylic, yep. And there's some metallic paints that I use by Deco Art, but it's all acrylic. Mm-hmm.
I've started painting, just like dabbling with it for fun. And I use acrylic a lot of the time. I bought like tempera. Is it tempera? Also, and I just don't like it as much. I feel like it looks better and like stays nicer on the canvas and everything.
Yep.
So,
totally.
Cool. So Johnny Q is kind of a big deal on TikTok. I've said a couple times that I found him. He has 2.3 million followers, which is insane. Good for you. Awesome. Thank you. Fun. So how has TikTok changed things for you? Because I feel like anyone that I talk to, I know for myself personally, when I'm on there, I'll be like, all right, Ellie, you're getting off in 5 minutes. And then it's like getting 10 because then I'm laughing and I'm finding recipes and I'm saving stuff all the time. So how has TikTok changed your life or just what has it done for you?
Yeah. So a funny thing, I'm actually never on TikTok. Like I don't scroll. Maybe
you're posting.
Right. I only post because I know I get sucked in. Like I'll be in bed, you know, and me and my wife will be on TikTok. And I'll be like, I've been on here for 45 minutes. What am I doing?
It's so easy to just get sucked in.
Totally. But I've made it a rule where I'm not going to be on TikTok for, you know, extended amount of time. So I just post and I just try to read all the comments. I try to respond to a lot of the comments. But as far as like changing my life, I mean, I can truly say that TikTok, has helped us. I quit my full-time job to do this. Yeah. And like, it's weird to say. I guess I'm a full-time TikToker because, you know, you also get paid by TikTok for your views, you know, per month through the Creator Fund. And so like that also helps. But like, it's kind of crazy to realize that, and I said it, you know, 2 years ago or a year ago, you can literally do it. You just have to create the content. And people will like it. People will like you as a person, no matter what it is. I mean, if you're rude, I mean, people are not going to like that. But if you're just constantly creating good, entertaining content, people will come. So I guess in the sense, yeah, TikTok has changed, I guess, my life by becoming, full-time Johnny Q, which is what I've always wanted to do. I didn't think it was going to be through spin art, but I'm here. And so, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm pumped.
Definitely. And this is just the beginning, You have life to live and so many exciting things to incorporate into it. And I feel like your ideas will only continue to grow and to build. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So with TikTok, though, what do you think the importance is of a niche? So for when people are trying to get into it, I feel like oftentimes, it's like a certain video kind of sets you off. You get a viral video, and then people are they gravitate towards your page, or more people are likely to see you. But then someone posted the other day, she was like, I'm into all these things. What is the importance of having a niche? And I'm like that too. I do so many different things. Like, what's my niche going to be, because I'm not like a big TikTok creator. I kind of mess with it, but like I'm not, but I'd like to be, like, work at it and figure out what my niche is. So what do you think the importance is of having a niche if you want to expand on TikTok, or just, I guess, on social media as a whole?
I think it's very different for a lot of people, but if it's just generalized, I think honestly it doesn't matter, right? Just because so many things go viral, like the For You page is specifically for you, like content that you would like.
Right.
If you like cats, it'll give you cats. If you like bread, it'll give you bread. Like, it's such a weird thing, right? And so I honestly, to have a niche right away, I think is almost like, okay, you're kind of boxing yourself into this corner where you want to be this thing, you want to be really good at it, but you also like to, let's say, read out loud. What if you have like a killer voice and people like that, and you never actually explore that? What if you like talking about how chickens lay eggs? I don't know. Like, it's weird. I see this all the time. Like, people go viral for the weirdest things.
Right.
Like, who knew that people wanted to watch other people play video games? I love that. Like, I watch people play Warzone all the time. Like, that to me is, for some reason, really, really cool.
Right.
And they geek out about everything.
That would
What's
never
that?
be my vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's super different, right? So having that niche, I don't know. I think it's almost, we're trying to label ourselves, oh, I do this on TikTok. It's like, okay, well, now we're trying to be too cool. It's like we're trying to be Instagram. We're trying to be like really just clean cut and polished. But I'm like, just do whatever makes you happy, and whatever you want to create, just create it. Like, before spin art, I was doing comedy things. I was doing stuff like every day, like with my wife, with my kids, just doing the weirdest things on TikTok. I was literally filming everything because my life is about filming everything.
Sure.
And so honestly, that niche, again, very generalized. To me, it doesn't matter. If you want to be funny, then be funny in all the things that you do. But if you're like selling me car parts or talking about cars and you're a mechanic, then maybe your niche is being a mechanic on TikTok, right?
Great.
Thank you, Josh. Love you too, man.
There's a lot of people that love you.
Yeah.
I mean, you are getting so much hype. This is amazing. No, and I think that's kind of like, I feel like at school too, like growing up or in high school, or just more so even college, I guess. But there's people for everyone. Not everyone is into the same thing, and you don't have to be friends with everyone, but there is like totally people for everybody.
Totally.
So just like on TikTok, and your interest might be different than mine and vice versa, but that's kind of like the cool part of it, because there is content and videos for both of us, and then we can also make them based off of the things that we like.
Totally.
I like that read aloud thing. That's fun. I haven't even seen that, but I might look into that. I like
the what?
Sometimes the read aloud, like hearing people.
Oh, yep.
I like that. I've never even heard of that. Okay, so the process in general, you talked about how you hook the drill onto the back of the canvas, but can you like go over the process just a little bit of how you do what you do?
Yeah.
Like little, just like with the paint, putting the paint on and all of that, just how it works.
Yeah. So a lot of people, to an extent, it's randomized, but when someone says, hey, I want these 5 colors, I'll pick out the 5 colors, right? But I used to just kind of just diagonally put it on the canvas. And I realized when you spin it at full blast, it's going to create the same pattern pretty much every single time. Just paint splattered everywhere. But then I realized when I pour the paint in circles and I am intentional about where I'm putting those circles, And then after that, kind of letting the paint droop in itself and kind of making a pattern already.
Yeah.
And then spinning it super lightly. It won't create layers, but it's going to spread out evenly, and it's going to have a cool effect on there. So again, after a lot of trial and error, I've seen it's better to do it that way versus putting a bunch of paint on there and then putting it at 100%.
Sure.
So,
and you have to learn, like you said, trial and error in the process. That's all part of it.
Yeah.
Everyone, for anything that you're doing, Johnny is a prime example of this. The trial and error is what gets you successful. You work hard every single day at what you want. And eventually, as long as you're passionate about it, and I say this every Chat E episode, the importance is loving what you do. It's just 100% putting your all into it and making it your thing.
Yeah.
Is painting a stress reliever for you? Is a question from the audience. Would you say what you're doing is really stressful?
No. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just like weird, but I don't have I tell myself I don't have time to be stressed. I can't be anxious. I don't know. Like being anxious is kind of a weird thing to me. I don't see myself as being an anxious person or stressed. It's just about having things and having those things being done in a timely manner, having an organized schedule. Do I get stressed at times? Yes,
of course.
In certain areas, of course, but I wouldn't say it's a stress reliever. It's more so when I do spin art, I've now paired that with going live on TikTok. Yes. And that's been my high. That's been my my bread and butter. If I ever go, even if I'm doing custom work, I'm gonna go live because I want people to see not only that I'm doing it all the time, but that hey, if you guys want to converse, let's converse while I'm working.
Sure.
That's cool. My brand, again, I said it's a people connection, and I want to bring that connection even when I'm spinning.
More of that real stuff.
Yeah.
I think, seriously, Johnny, you're doing everything that you need to make people feel comfortable, and so important. I even feel like some creators, even if they make a video, you kind of just, I don't want to assume, but at the same time, you kind of have, you can kind of tell that it's not real.
Yeah.
Even through their videos. And I think the lives, too, are a big deal because they make people, they can ask you questions, they can talk to you, they can see you. And I just think those are so personable and a great opportunity for that.
Totally. Something that I've adopted in my lives is, I don't ask to go. I say, go to the website after I've made a piece and just check it out. I never say, hey, you should go buy it. I'll maybe just do that on Sundays because I've given you so much value throughout the week. Yep. Where okay, now I'm going to ask for something in return. Yep. But I'm always you guys don't have to buy anything. It's totally fine, but go check them out. Click it on your phone. It looks way better on your phone than it does over the live.
Yep.
But I think, again, when you're not selling something to someone and you're giving them that entertainment and you're a cool person and you're genuine, that sale will come around at some point. So again, I'm not focused on sales when I'm doing spin art. I'm focused on making that live connection with someone through the screen.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. That keep on creating hashtag I think is great. I think that's super motivating and a really, really cool thing to live by. And that I don't have time to be stressed, I also think is a really big deal. I found myself in the last couple months to be a lot more anxious than I realized I was. And I feel with the pandemic, lack of control and just so many things, the unknown freaks me out. So then I start freaking out about other things that I don't need to freak out about. But I'm going to kind of think about that because I'm so busy too. It's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Stop that. No energy.
Yeah.
And it,
right. Yeah. And I see a lot of people worried about, finances in their own life and stuff like that. But, if you're wanting to start a business, people that want a Ferrari will still buy a Ferrari during the pandemic. Yep. They're in a whole different level of planning, financially being stable. But it's, it's more of a, if you're going to do it, then you have to do it, right? Something has to push you. There has to be a catalyst for you to just start. And what perfect way than just being quarantined at home for 8 weeks? And okay, and I said in my previous videos, if you want to get into whatever it is, the time is now. I kept preaching it for weeks. Yep. And I'm you know what? I'm going to show you how to do it. And I mean, quite literally, that's what I did,
Exactly.
And it's just about, again, being confident in what you want to do. And if you have a good product, even better.
For sure. And people still have the opportunity to do that. Your 8 weeks started a long time ago, but who knows, like we're still in some sort of quarantine, like it's still going to last for a little while. We don't know how this year is going to look, honestly. So now's still the time to get started. So never hesitate.
It's really not late to get on TikTok or YouTube. No. Like 8 months ago, I was like, okay, am I too late to be on YouTube? And I think I had like 2,000 subscribers. That was it. You know, if I would, so I have close to 300,000, which is awesome. And
right now,
now I do, yeah, close.
You said 100,000 was your January goal, and you're almost at 300,000.
Right, 277, I think, or something like that.
Or something. It could be 300,000, but
it could be, yeah, exactly. But if I, 12 months ago, Johnny knew that he was going to have almost 300K in a year from now, I wouldn't be saying, oh, it's not too late. I would just start because I knew that was going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that same respect, if I had said, oh, it's too late, I'm not going to start it, I would still be at 2,000 today because I didn't start. And so I was saying, hey, is it too late? It might be too late. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do it. So because I just said no, forget about, getting subscribers and just creating content, I'm now able to get almost 300K. So it's the art of creating that can get you subscribers or get you a following. Same with TikTok. Like it's not too late. They're still out there. TikToks are still rolling. YouTube's still rolling.
They're going to be for a long time.
Yeah. When everybody was saying, yo, TikTok's going to get banned, honestly, they said that 12 different times. And it doesn't matter. It's not going to go away.
No. And YouTube too. Like there are people, like you said, like David Dobrik, all kinds of people that have been doing this for such a long time and now are like doing really well on TikTok too. But both of those platforms, so everyone is online all the time. Even when like the world opens up again, like we're still going to be using YouTube. We're still going to have our favorite content creators. We're still going to be on TikTok just because everyone's cooked. Do you know how many times a day I'm like, oh, I'm trying this recipe. Oh, I learned this from TikTok. It's ridiculous.
Totally.
Like, yep. Everything I do. Like, okay, let me not be that crazy, but you know what I mean? So many different things that I've learned. But it's cool. A lot of it I would have never even thought about.
Right.
So very cool. So do you want to share or talk a little bit about customs if people are interested in placing orders, how that works, and what you can do for them?
Yep. So what I do is if you want a custom, so usually I get all these questions when I'm on a live like this. So what I'll say is go to my profile on TikTok or on Instagram, click on the link in my bio. You'll see the first little tab in there that says Johnny Q Art website. You click on that tab, it'll take you to my website, which is johnnyqart.com. And then from there, you can see all the pieces that are available. At the very top of my website, there'll be my email. You can click on that email. It'll automatically open up your email app on your phone. You can email me, hey, Johnny, I'd like a custom. And, within an hour or two, whenever I'm done on the live, I will answer back with, hey, would love to get one to you. I do usually 3 to 5 colors is best. Then I lay out the pricing and I lay out the sizes. So that's how customs work. And everyone's like, I emailed you. Don't forget about me. I have this thing where, do you want to talk about anxious or stress? I don't like going like an hour more than checking my email. Like I will check my email every single hour to make sure everything is good to go. I've answered everything and there's 0 unread. Like that's just so, like if I have 2 unread messages and it's there for the whole day, I will go nuts. Like I can't do that. So I usually email back like right away.
That's good. Yeah, everyone, I just ordered my Johnny Q custom, so I'm very excited. I'm using metallic silver, light pink, blue, and white. So I have like a table or a chair back here that I got, and I'm putting it on the wall back there, and I'm moving like my chat corner to kind of like make a spot. But I like measured it before I ordered and like picked the size, but it's gonna go back there, and I'm gonna move where I am. So I'm very excited to have it.
Nice. Love
It'll be beautiful art. So I'm glad I can support you, and I know it's gonna be so sick. So.
Yeah.
Of course, you're so welcome. So we'll kind of like finish up and close out. But do you have anyone who wants to ask Johnny any questions at all, please feel free to drop them below. I haven't really had people do this. They usually just comment below, but there's like a little question button. So there was people can do it on the side too.
Yeah.
But if anyone has any questions as we finish up, please feel free to drop them below and he will be asked. But do you just have any additional tips that you want to share with people who are going, wanting to start their own business or are just kind of like hesitant or nervous maybe to like go out on a whim and try something new?
Yes. Yeah. So when I first started, I guess overall business advice, you want to start something on your own. Again, the whole just doing it for me really just took off. And it wasn't until I stopped caring what other people thought, because at the time I wanted everything to be done like here. Like, this is what I want everything to be professional, done super clean and well done. And I'm like,
sure.
But nobody cares. As soon as you realize nobody cares, you will be successful. You have to make those people care, right? Yep. Like, nobody cared about Steve Jobs until he made a reason for people to care about Steve Jobs.
For sure.
You can say it about everybody else in the world who's been successful. And, you know, they found a problem and they brought a solution to the problem. And people are like, oh yeah, well, you just do spin art. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right, but like, I'm making pieces for people who have passed away, for loved ones, birthdays, anniversaries. Like, it's something special that they hold dear themselves, right?
Totally.
And so I guess you need to create things, just make things. Even if you don't have to post them. Just make a video, make a blog, put it away, archive it, and just do it until it seems right where, hey, I think I might want to post this one online somewhere.
For sure.
You know, it could be a blog, it could be on a Reddit, it could be on YouTube, it could be on IG, or whatever it may. It could be on a story, like it goes away in 24 hours.
Sure. See
how people respond. Like, you won't know how much you can like make and be successful in if you don't start the process.
Yep.
And to me, it's about respecting that process.
Yep.
And honestly, like, in the last 8 months, I can truly say I've not copied anyone. Like, literally, it's just been my ideas just executing on what I've been doing. And I've been, you know, doing what I've been preaching for the last 10 to 12 months, which is keep on creating. And will I do spin art forever? Of course not. Like,
that was the question.
Like, probably later this summer, I'll pivot into something else that could maybe, you know, continue doing it or continue the Johnny Q brand.
Sure.
But spin art is just kind of like the stepping stool. It's literally just like the proof is in the pudding of making things happen, yep. Creating, and just trusting that process.
Good for you. I mean, I think it sounds like you have all kinds of ideas for your future, and because you are a creator, you're creative, you know? So right. Every day you're thinking of new things. I'm like that too. My brain's always like, whoa, what's next? So it's exciting, you know? And I think that it's really cool that you've come so far with your spin art, but it's okay to not do that forever. And you always have it.
Exactly.
And you know you're good at it, and you've learned so much from it. But yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. And I think people have to, the whole patience thing. I think right now we live in the Amazon Prime culture, like we've talked about before, right? But patience is literally, you know, patience is a virtue. It's quite literally
it is
like what makes you or breaks you. If you know something's going to happen and you're just patient, you build on it. It's the everyday little things that you continue to build. It's going to be successful.
For sure.
Like, obviously Rome wasn't built in like overnight. Like, I love that because it wasn't. Yeah. Now it's this magnificent thing that people like are in awe of, but it's just, it took time to get there. Absolutely. And I think patience and just being happy in that process is going to be way better. And just know that when you first create content and put it out into the world, no one cares. You're going to get 0 views. I got 0 views.
Yep.
I got 0 views for the longest time.
Yeah. I think your transparency is really key and really cool too, because everyone has to start somewhere, and that's just realistically, if no one knows who you are and what you're doing, then why are they going to watch you?
Totally. Yep.
They have no clue. Nat said you can't become content with your life because life is about learning. And I think it's all about getting out of that comfort zone. So many people get stuck and caught in their comfort zone, but you're wasting time.
Yep.
If you stay there. Even though it is like uncomfortable, it might make you a little nervous. For someone who is diving into spin art and like has learned from you, do you have any advice for those artists in particular? We have some people that are looking for some.
So the biggest thing, I've seen a lot of spin artists, like a lot of them, and it's like really cool to see. Yeah, like really cool to see. I think it was after like the first 2 months, I saw 1 or 2 pop up. Now there's like a good 10 or 15, you know, and actually really cool. We have like, I think 5 or 6 of us have a Zoom meeting like every month.
Cool.
And we're all spin artists. Like, we do different kinds of things in the art world.
Very
cool. And we kind of just talk about success, like what we could do better, video stuff and techniques, all that stuff. But for like new people, I see a lot of young people doing it.
Yep.
Like, it's cool. And like, I know a long time ago I was posting, like, I think they're still up, but I was posting that I was making per day, per week, and per month doing spin art.
Sure.
And people wanted to see what that was like, and I was like super transparent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would say don't do it just for the money, just like plain simple.
Yep.
Like, I truly love to do spin art just because it's fun to make. I started it. Like, I actually did it for myself. But the first one on TikTok, the first one that like inspired people, and like I love to do it.
Yeah.
And so
that's
my advice would be to like just do it because you want to do it, not because you could potentially get a lot of money from it. Yep. You know? And so I guess that would be some advice. Another piece of advice would be make sure you have your back end created, like customer service and your website. Because people will grill you on the smallest of things. Like, hey, there was a piece of tape on the canvas, and I'm like, okay, well, that was by accident. I'm so sorry. And people will just like, they will torture you for the smallest things. Yeah. You know, and so keeping that customer service, make sure you can answer emails or DMs right away. And that's for any business. Yeah. And anywhere, in any industry that you're in. Like, just being a good person, a good business person overall is going to help.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And making videos. Again, making that video content, you know. And here, one more thing, don't be Johnny Q. No one else, like a lot of people have like the mannerisms, they say the little things. I see it. I see you guys, and that's fine. That's cool that I'm inspiring, but like,
that's so funny. I mean, I get it, but like,
yeah, like I get it. I understand it, but and it's fun. I understand why you're doing it, and maybe it can get you views, sales, whatever. But like when you have your own thing, it makes you even better. Yep. It sets you apart from Johnny Q. You know, someone might want you because you look funny, or you had a bad hair day and better than John. Like the weirdest things.
So funny.
It does. Like I have shoes from Adidas and Nike. I like both shoes, and so I guess don't copy Johnny Q just to copy him, but like be your own person in the spin art. So that's a piece of advice for sure.
No, I think that's really important. The comparison thing, though, I feel like, especially when you see someone that inspires you, that's really flattering. But people are going to also see through that, too. Because they've seen you first. You know, they recognize it. So even if, like, they learn some technique from you, it's like a personality thing. Like we said, like, that is what people gravitate towards.
Yeah, the whole thing of being genuine, like, really shines through that. And I'm always about, hey, just being genuine in everything. And if I'm going to go get a Dairy Queen versus me on the live, like I have to be the same person. If you're gonna be like that crazy person on doing spin art on live, on the video, then you need to be that person when I see you at Walmart. Right. You know, so that to me is super important because it shows character, it shows integrity. Yep. And I'm not saying like you guys are doing a bad job. I'm just saying it's more than just the video. It's more than making one sale. It's kind of like the look into becoming a having good integrity, right? Yep. You know,
finding yourself within your art.
Right.
No, I mean, I think that's key. That's really a big deal.
Right. I mean, a lot of people say it's cheesy, but like, that's how businesses, you know, get sales. Like, you build a brand, right? You build a brand that you trust. As soon as something goes wrong, you read about it, you're like, oh, I'm not about that brand anymore. You know, because they showed an inconsistency in what they've been showing you before. Right. So, but it's kind of cool to see everyone kind of doing the yes sir or the let's go, let's get this. And I'm not saying I dimed any of those sayings. It's just funny to see how it's coming while you guys are doing spin art, but it doesn't come in any of the other videos. So it's fun to see.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny. I mean, definitely flattering, but no, they got it from you for sure. So yeah, I mean, and there's so many. Excuse me, my allergies have been driving me nuts today. There's so many cool businesses out there, and I feel like TikTok is like prime space to be finding something. So whether you guys are into spin art or painting, or someone makes really cool lollipops, or making clothes, or like those kits that with the alarms on them, the little keychain, there's everything. Bread. So check it out, find your niche, or find something that you're into. Find 6, it's okay. Yeah. And just build off of things that make you happy. I love the way you say bro.
I love it. Josh, dude, that's awesome, bro.
but more than one person has said, you're the reason why I do spin art, and it has led me into other art, so thank you.
Totally, yeah. Love it.
Super big deal. So last thing, Johnny, this has been such a pleasure. I've learned so much. You're such an inspiration, and congrats seriously on all the amazing things that you're doing.
Thank you.
Big motivator for other people to go after their dreams. For me too, I'm working on so many different things, but I need to focus because there's so many things. So I feel like finding that one thing initially, going really, really hard after it, and then all those other things come into play.
Yeah.
But
you know, last year in 2020, I had like 10 goals, and I think I had like 8 or 10 of them that actually, you know, were successful. This year I was like, I'm gonna do 20 goals, and I thought, okay, if I'm gonna go actually do what I preach, and I want to make things, you know, happen 100%, I feel like I need to scale back on goals and make sure they're attainable,
right.
and I can actually reach them. So I went from 20 goals to like 5 goals.
Yeah.
For the year, just overall, like life in general.
Like big ones, yeah.
And I feel like my 2021 career, I guess, has opened up, and there's more clarity.
Yeah.
And now I see what I need to do, and I've already hit some of those goals, and I'm like, okay, now I can insert another goal from the 20.
Sure.
And I think
totally.
A lot of people that go into a new year thinking I'm going to do all of these different things, but then they do them poorly. You know, and I think it's not because you're lazy or a bad person. You just had too many things on your plate.
Yeah,
you know, narrow it down to the 5 goals. Like, instead of a 5-year plan, have a 2-year plan.
Yeah.
You know, that's helped me a ton. And again, that clarity has been like, oh, I you know, the Claritin Clear commercials.
Right.
I'm like, I feel like that. Oh, I can now see what I want to do.
Right.
So I mean, that's pretty key. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything that I'm working on is like streamlined, but it's just like, there's so many different things that it's very it's very hard, but I'm definitely figuring it out. And I feel like it's really cool too, because you had like a big goal, or even with your spin art, it's awesome that you had like background in like media and like all the stuff you were doing, but then you were able to incorporate them all together and build and expand, which is such a big deal. And being a content creator, I feel like a lot of people make it look really easy, and it's not.
It's very difficult.
And there's so many people competing in it. Like, it's not like you can't do it. Like, anyone's capable, but it's not easy. And I think that's like a big falsie. I don't know if that, like, a lot of people make it seem like it's just like nothing.
Yeah,
but it takes a lot of work.
I mean, a lot of the people that I follow that are, you know, inspire me to create videos to be more than spin art are people that have teams, that have an editor, that have someone to do all the emails. Well, all you do is just film, you know?
Right.
I mean, I've had to make major sacrifices with my family, spending time with my kids. I'm filming all day. I come back home, I edit, and I post. I do the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like right now, I have one person that I employ. Well, actually, a couple people, but one person who does like a lot of my video stuff on and off. But I feel like that's becoming, I want it to still be me. And so I have a big hand in how I edit, how it looks. Because I still want it to look cool and, you know, be fun. And so a lot of the people that you guys watch, it's like they're not actually editing. Or else they wouldn't be putting out 7 videos a week or 3 videos a week. At first they were doing it for sure, but when they grow, they can hire people, they can do it. It's a lot easier. So I mean, that's the goal for me at some point, but I gotta still have a little bit ways to go.
Yeah, I mean, but definitely learning too is possible, and like doing everything that you can, but you know, you can't always do everything by yourself.
Totally.
So that's like a really big thing. So last thing, Johnny, thank you again. Like I said, you're so wonderful, and I'm so honored to have been able to talk with you and learn about you, so many new things that I didn't know before. But where can people find you after we're finished? I will tag you and links to anything you'd like me to in like the bio, and then I'll figure out.
Totally. So are you gonna post this as, it's going to be a story in your timeline, right? And
it'll be on my page, and sometimes it gives me trouble to save it, but I'll figure it out so that I can send it to you.
Sure.
And you can post it. It might be tomorrow morning, but I'll give it to you.
That's fine. Yeah, no worries.
It just gives me trouble. For some reason, Instagram is not, you'd think they would make it so simple, but sometimes you have to put it in another app. It's like a whole process. I don't know why. Dude,
yep. So if people want to, see my stuff or watch me, again, the link in my bio, there's a direct me link. You click on that link in my bio there, it's going to show you my YouTube channel, my website, email, Instagram, all that stuff. So it's like a one-stop shop for all things Johnny Q.
Perfect. So I will add your Instagram on
Totally
afterwards, and so then they can go to your page and then click on you.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, this has been such a pleasure. It has been so nice to get to know you and talk to you. I wish you the absolute best and know that you will continue to flourish and reach all of your 2021 goals by
Awesome. Yeah, this is fun. May. This is great. Totally.
Well,
love it.
I'm so glad we were able to make it work. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much. It was great to be here.
Welcome. Bye.
Bye.